Guess what just got here? I'm excited for this one. This is gonna be cool. I've been waiting on this for like 2 weeks. Let me get it out of the box real quick and I'll show you what it is. Well, that ain't gonna work. Does this give you any clues yet? Maybe you know, maybe you don't. There she is. In case you can't tell yet, this is a Dell Poweredge R710 server. Let's go ahead and open her up and I'll walk you through what it's loaded out with. Let's go through the I/O real quick. On the front, we got power, 2 USB ports, VGA, our little controller here, and currently, from the way I got it, it has 2 300 gig 10K SAS drives in here. The rest of these are all blank, and I suspect I could 3D print my own adapters. I don't think Dell has a monopoly here. Won't be anywhere near as nice as the smooth, fluid action of these though. There we go. Dell branded 300 gigs. Enterprise class. Hopefully these survive shipping. Other than that, all empty. It did come with a DVD drive though, which I believe the listing said it wouldn't. So guess we got that, which is nice. Little service card here. Yeah, cool. Let's go around to the back. The back is looking just about as sparse as the front. We've got, I'm assuming this is our server management port. Serial, VGA again, 2 more USB ports, and 4 gigabit Ethernet, and 2 redundant. I'm assuming these are 570 watts each. I also think they were only supposed to send me the 370 watt ones. This has definitely been used before though. You can see it's got some scuffs on it, but as long as it still works when we power it up, should be fine. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get on the inside now and I'll tell you what it's loaded with. Alright, let's do this one-handed. Then it should just lift up and off like that. Oh, actually, there's something else I should show. On the inside, you've got all your detailed information for what's hot pluggable, what isn't, how to replace every little thing, including, I'm assuming, of course, fans, power supplies, cards, everything. It's pretty nice. And how to properly insert memory. I will be using this later, probably not today though. Cool. Alright, running through everything here. We've got our DVD drive and our controller over here. Actually, I believe there's room for a tape drive in the future, should I need it, or I don't think I'm anywhere near that, but you know, nice to have. Looking like a little backup battery. Our, of course, SAS backplane connects all of our drives together. For, oh, actually, yeah, okay, 5 of these hot pluggable fans. Of course, should I ever need replacements. And that's just slot back in there, cool. And the main attraction, under this, we have 2. Actually, let me go check the number. These are 2 Xeon 5650s with 32 gigs of RAM through 4 sticks, which means that we have plenty of room to expand in the future should I ever need it. And none of the PCIe slots are populated at the moment, but they are only 8x slots, which is kind of unfortunate because most cards are either 1x or 16x. So I'll probably have to like file out the back of that in order to put in a proper 16x card and then run it at 8x speed. Although they said this was refurbished, I'm not sure I trust whatever thermal paste or thermal compound they put in here. So I'm going to replace it with some of my own over here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you can definitely tell that there were two different competing types of thermal compound on there at one point. So I'm going to clean all of this off of both the CPU and the coolers and make sure it's only my own. Yeah, that stuff was nasty. And you can see there's different colors of white and dark there. So, good thing I'm doing this. Let me show you something. Just to demonstrate the difference in size here, this is, I forget what socket it is, I'll put it up on screen. And it's pretty big, but you can almost fit an entire LGA 1151 CPU just on the IHS of this one, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, and that doesn't even compare to something like a Threadripper. Alright, I've now put some paste on. Let's get those coolers back. Man, that is quite a bit of mounting pressure, but we got it back, so we're good. Actually, now that that's back on, that's all that I really need to worry about for replacing or making sure is good. So I'm gonna go ahead, put the lid back on, and we'll see if it starts up. Let's get a monitor here. I think this is the last monitor I have that actually supports VGA, so I might have gotten lucky here. In fact, I don't even know if I still have a cable. There we go. Deep in the depths of the cable drawer, I found one. Alright, now to plug it into the wall. It might get mad because I only have one of the power cables plugged in and it's gonna want to be redundant, but it won't be. Oh well. Also, it's probably about to get loud. Oh, hey, we got something. Yep, looks like it is giving me an error. But we do have output. Look at that. Still kind of loud though. I should be able to tweak it. I'm not going to be using most of the power at any time. Oh, there it is. Adjustment in progress. Oh, that's manageable. In the corner, it won't be this loud either. This is interesting. I'm noticing that it's putting quite a bit of activity on these drives here, which implies that, oh, we've got Windows Server on here. Well, that's strange. Didn't know they pre-installed that. That's not what I'm going to be using, though. I'm going to be using Linux Mint or Ubuntu Server. Alright, I've got a keyboard here, and I don't know the password that they put on here, though. Is it just nothing? About password. In the meantime, though, I do have Ubuntu Server 20.04, the latest LTS, downloading to a flash drive. Oh, there it is. Found it. Just took a little bit of Googling. Let's see if I can't get into the BIOS here. Got it. F2. Oh, here we go. Looks like the time is definitely wrong, and so is the date, but only by a little bit, actually. Just make sure I have virtualization technology enabled, and whatever they call hyper-threading. There is an extra internal SATA port, which I might use for just a simple SSD later, and there's also a USB port, but I shouldn't need to use either of those for now. Here we go, fan power and performance management. I'm going to set that to minimum power. Or rather, I'm going to set CPU power at maximum, fan at minimum, and memory at maximum. Save changes. And it should reboot to the SD card. Or flash drive, sorry. Don't you just love long post times? Oh, not Windows. I want the flash drive. Oh, I just realized I never put this back on. Well, that's a problem. Let me do that first. Come on. Hey, there it is. Here we go. English, US keyboard. Here we go. This is it. I'm a little bit worried about the reliability of the drives that it came with. They are a matched set, so they might fail around the same time, and they were also shipped here in who knows what. They just arrived in the sleds, not separate or anything like that. So, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, looks like we're ready. And we're in. I think that I'm going to go ahead and put this in its home, and then I should be able to SSH into it and deal with everything elsewhere, back at my desk. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. I'll be right back. Yeah, so that was a lie. It's been 3 days now, and I think I have everything in a state where I'm happy with it for the most part. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I have it configured. The first thing you'll probably notice is that I switched from using Ubuntu Server to Linux Mint because, as it turns out, it's pretty frustrating to try and set up VMs from the command line, and especially do like network interfaces and things, and having this and using the Linux Mint tools makes things so much easier, and it's just so much nicer. So I'm sticking with it, and it'll work just fine. After I made the change to Linux Mint, I had to find the correct way to bridge the Ethernet ports on the back so that my actual router can still see everything connected to them as individual devices and not under some subnet, which was a pain. It probably should have just been, putting the things in there, clicking add and click done, but because I only have access really through a VNC connection, and it just became quite annoying. After I sorted out the networking though, creating the VMs was actually relatively easy. I just had to point it at an image, set up some services, and get them running. But after I got everything with networking sorted out, you can see that on my router, each individual device is seen as its own device and isn't aggregated or relegated to some random subnet, which is nice because that means that I can SSH and port forward and do whatever I need to as if they were real. As for the VMs themselves though, I currently have 3, a private Minecraft server, a public Rust server, here's the name in case you want to join it, and a folding at home instance, which is all running just fine. Setting them up was a little difficult at times. Setting up the actual KVM installation wasn't that bad once you follow the tutorial, and it walks you through most of it. But actually getting each server to run its own processes and do everything that I wanted it to at startup was a little bit of a pain, but I got it working the way I wanted to with the help of Linux GSM, which is the Linux Game Server Manager that I think actually Linode uses, which made it way easier than I had previously hoped or anticipated, to just download a script and let it run, and it sets up the server, and then all I have to do is configure it the way I want and make sure that it's port forwarded through my router, which worked pretty darn well. Yeah, other than that though, there's not much more to say. It works pretty well. It's pretty quiet actually. Let me turn off the noise suppression and let you hear the ambient in my room. And more than anything, I'm not hearing the server, I'm hearing 3D printer, which is actually pretty impressive. Yeah, so this has been the unboxing and simple setup of a Dell Poweredge R710 server for some simple virtual machines. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I do have 2 more videos planned in the short term. One where I finish up I go over my creation of a LED 3D printed clock, and another one which will be more like this video where I go through and do some maintenance on my 3D printer. In long term, I'm hoping to create one more video about something like a custom nanoleaf panel, which may end up being pretty cool. So if you're interested at all in any of those things, I would implore you to subscribe, and yeah,
that's all I have for now. I'll see you guys next time. It's hot in here. 79 degrees, baby.